What's up? What's up? It's Dr. William James reporting to you. And as many of you know, I am a doctor in educational leadership. So, what I'm going to talk to you about today is actually my field of expertise, the things that are taking place in our educational system in the United States of America. One of the things that is currently taking place that is the most egregious, the most disgusting, the most significant thing that is taking place. It seems like every day there's an incident with a female teacher assaulting a student. By assaulting, I do mean sexual assault. Um, as many of you may know, the demographics in the United States of America, as far as teachers goes, it's 76% of those who work in public schools in the United States of America are female teachers, and 79% of those teachers are white. Um, the numbers are really small for the other demographics. I mean, for the other races, it's like 7% um are black teachers. It's around like 2% Asian, um, and it's like 1% Hawaiian Pacific Islander. Um, it's around those numbers. They tend to vary, but the numbers are small for the other racial categories. How we divvy up that 20%, that 21%. Um, but that's those are the numbers. So when you think of that, um, you know, being a male educator or a male in education, whether that be an administrator, a teacher, um, an assistant teacher, a paraprofessional, anything, being a male, you're going to be the minority in the school system. But now in the 21st century, and particularly 2024, 2023, when we see all of these cases of female teachers um, assaulting students, and it goes to the double standard as to how men and women are portrayed, because a lot of these female teachers are getting slaps on the wrist. When you look at the news reports, it's saying had sex with a female teacher, has sex with student, has sex with 14-year-old student, 12-year-old student. It's not having sex if it is assault, if it's child molestation, if it is rape. Okay. These kids are kids and they cannot consent to what's taking place. Not only is the person an adult, but they're in a position of authority. So when these things happen, um, not enough is being done. They're getting slaps on the wrist, and I think we need to make this more. The punishment needs to be more severe for people to really get it. I think if we stop giving slaps on the wrists to these female teachers for their actions, then um, we can reduce this problem. Um, it's really sick because when you look at a lot of the instances, these women, it's like, if we can even call them women, I just really want to know what is, like, it has to be a mental illness. And these are people who are so-called educated. They have a degree, they went to school. They usually don't have any record. You can't really just work around kids with a record, but then they do the most egregious act. um it was popping up so frequently, I just had to do a video. So let's look at some of these cases. I'm going to show us real quickly just some of the cases with these egregious actions. It's really so many. We just got to look at some of them. Three teachers in Arizona district accused of sexual conduct with students. Three female teachers. This was this year, 2024. Three. Okay. Three sickos here. But let's look at some more. Let's go back right there. 23-year-old Tampa woman arrested again Again, so this lady, she did this before. Now look at her. She's 23 years old or whatever. Why doesn't this sick individual here just go get an adult? These people are sick. Like, this is crazy. And when I say sick, I don't think they need um a mental institution. I think we should put them under the prison for this behavior. The same thing we would do to males, we should do to these females. Okay? 23-year-old Tampa woman arrested again for posing as a 14-year-old homeschool student to have improper relations with multiple boys between the ages of 12 and 15. So she was arrested before for this, gets a slap on the wrist, they get probation, they get things, minuscule punishment. And she gets out, and not one, but multiple boys between the ages of 12 and 15. These boys are not old enough to consent. This is clearly, assault, sexual assault, child molestation. But the way we view boys in society, is different. And we don't look at it as, they're a victim in this situation. Even when you read the comments, it's taken differently than if this was a 23-year-old male and this were multiple 12 to 15-year-old girls. I see male and females in the comments saying, oh, well, those boys got lucky. Excuse me. Let's go to the next one. This lady, okay? High school teacher, 24, accused of having sex. Look at how they accused of having sex. Why not say taking advantage of, molesting, or something like that? Having sex makes it seem it takes two people to have sex. It sounds consensual when you say having sex. But high school teacher, 24, accused of having sex with up to 12 boys after buying them vapes and booze, is arrested after her own mother turns her into police. Thank God that mother turned her in. That mother has morals. And I believe this lady is a mother. Yeah, this is her. Texas teacher and mother of 4 kids arrested for having sex with as many as 12 students. So, sometimes people say odd things. They say weird things like, oh, if you don't have children, then you shouldn't be able to make, share an opinion on this and that concerning kids. Here's a mother of 4, and she's a weirdo. This is why I'm saying you go with logic. You don't, to throw in ad hominem and stuff like that. Is someone making sense or not? There are plenty of people who don't have children who are more trustworthy, who are more logical, more rational, than people who have kids. So just saying because someone has biological children, their opinion means more, as it pertains to children, is stupid. There's no real. It may sound good, but when you see cases like this exposes the fact that doesn't make much sense. Oh, gotta go back to this weirdo. Middle school teacher arrested for leaving hickeys on 12-year-old student's neck. Felicia Smith. Look at this lady. A weirdo. Crazy. How do they get in the school system? I mean, I don't know how we could flush this out. It would be my job to flush this out. Um, but you can't, like, I mean, how do we know if they have no record, they have credentials? You know, females are more trustworthy in the educational system. That's the reason why there are so many. Um, but look at this. You see all of these overwhelming, and one can say, there are more female cases than male cases because it's 79% female. But I haven't seen any cases of males doing this in the United States of America this year. So many female cases. It seemed like every other day. Leaving hickeys on a kid's neck. Then this lady, married teacher, she was married. Married teacher arrested for sneaking into 14-year-old student's home to have sex in his bed. There you go, to have sex in his bed. See how the caption reads? Sounds consensual to have sex in his bed. No, she snuck in his home to molest him, to take advantage of him, to scar him for life. This is so disgusting. Well, what do you want with a kid when you got a husband at home? This is ridiculous. Put her under the jail. Put her under the prison. Next. Teacher found nude in back of car with high school student, police say. Found nude in the back of a car with a student. So basically, there's a double standard in that in education and in society, but something has to be done about these female teachers and the incidents that are occurring. We have to hold these women accountable to the standard, and they shouldn't get slaps on the wrist. And judges who give them slaps on the wrist, or DAs who give them slaps on the wrist with charges, need to be held accountable. This has to be stopped. And one thing I can say is, in the education system, the criteria for how they hire people is more focused on things that shouldn't even be, a part of the credentials, like how good of a test taker someone is. If you passed, you know, you have your master's degree in science or math or history or English, that should be the credential. It shouldn't be, oh, if you pass another test, then you can be a teacher. They focus more on things like that rather than the psychology of who is in front of a child. I saw an article yesterday of it was a female teacher. She was in charge of second graders, and she was drunk. She was teaching second graders drunk. You can look this case up. And she wasn't fired. They said it's not against the policy to be teaching 7-year-old kids while intoxicated, which common sense will tell you how detrimental that is and why that is hazardous and dangerous for some 7-year-old kids to have an inebriated teacher in front of them. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about this going on with female teachers in the United States and how often it's going on? And do you witness or recognize a double standard in how they're treated? So like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video. Peace.